Good morning. It's roughly 9 o'clock here on June 6th, Saturday, 2009 in San Francisco. I'm here at the San Francisco Buddhist Center. Here's Prajnaparamita. This is our upstairs shrine room. My name's Viveka, and we are in the Mission District, very lively neighborhood, very multicultural, and particularly sunny part of San Francisco. So I'm here to talk about practice in daily life here in San Francisco. So I thought I'd start by describing my life and then talk about maybe more how that's practice. So the way I spend my time, my home life is about 10 minutes here from the San Francisco Buddhist Center walking. I live with my husband. We've been together for 16 years, I think. His name's Rene. He's from Puerto Rico. 11 of those years he was with me while I lived in the Buddhist Center in a women's community on the top floor of this building. Yeah, so that's quite significant. 3 months ago we had a big party in Puerto Rico, and I really felt it was a way of acknowledging that this family life or home life was a big part of my life, and I valued it, and it seemed like a good way to do that in our own idea of what marriage was. And we felt we could do that after many years of maybe holding out and not wanting to just follow a conventional path that way. It was nice because a lot of Sangha people came to Puerto Rico to celebrate, so it felt very integrated. I also work about, you could say roughly 50% time. Now, all these percentages add up to more than 100%, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. I work at the Buddhist Center, or I play and practice at the Buddhist Center. It doesn't seem like work, really. I'm chairwoman here, which just means I look out for the overall well-being of the situation with others here. We really have shared leadership, a very shared stewardship or care for our Sangha. It means I meet up with people, I'm at classes, or I might teach now and then. And then also I work about 50% time, so you can see how it's getting to be more than 100%, in social justice as a consultant with groups, especially working around issues of racial and social justice, and creating vibrant communities. And that comes probably largely informed by my experience as a first-generation child of immigrants who came from China, and really seeing how hard they had to struggle, and just also related to experiences of racism or yeah, just seeing how it was a real uphill struggle, and there's a lot of intolerance in our world. Yeah, I think that might also inform the fact that I am also in a multiracial marriage. So that's another part of my life, is just celebrating multiculturalism, and being in San Francisco, that's a big part of life here. So how does that practice all these aspects of my life? So I thought I'd read you a quote from Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, somebody, a Tibetan master that Sangharakshita met while he was in Kalimpong. And this has been something that's guided me for the past couple of years. And Dilgo Khyentse says, "The everyday practice is simply to develop a complete acceptance and openness to all situations and emotions, and to all people, experiencing everything totally without mental reservations and blockages, so that one never withdraws or centralizes into oneself." So that's really how I am practicing. It's kind of an overarching precept for the last couple of years. I see that as having two parts, really. One is the cultivation of bodhicitta, or the altruistic, compassionate stance and activity that I feel is one of the major duties or joyful commitments of being an order member. And the second is wisdom, this aspect of really not unquestioningly going through life, just imposing my karma and a hard-fixed sense of self in a way that causes suffering for the world around me or limits the benefit I can bring. So really seeing through that illusion of who I am, how things have to be, really breaking the habit of centralizing or withdrawing into oneself. So to support that, there's two things really, and in meditation, which I love, I'm sort of known for loving to go off on long retreats and loving to meditate with people. So meditation, there's two aspects: samatha, tranquility and calm, and vipassana, or the cultivation of insight. So I look out for these aspects in all of life. I sort of see all of life as a meditation or a mindfulness practice. So around samatha, it's making space for quiet, reflection, not just running from one activity to the next, but being aware of all the space that's there. That has to be remembered. If one doesn't, it's not there, and things feel cramped, and I'm probably not very present. And what supports that quite practically is also exercise or being in the body. So long runs, long hikes, sometimes yoga, which I have sometimes a love-hate sort of thing going on with, but it's good to stretch oneself, literally. And mindful eating, just really enjoying that practice lately. We've been doing that more as a sangha, especially on retreats. Stopping and just realizing, just in the food we're eating, how that connects us to all the elements, the people that had to grow that food, farm that food, the farm workers, and then just getting more in touch with the body, slowing down. Yeah, just time for being alone. So that's the samatha aspect. And I think the vipassana aspect increasingly is just noticing, really catching those small ways that I do centralize or withdraw into myself, or really polarize with others. And in work, it's just so many opportunities, and they're really challenging. But I love the steepness of the intensity or the challenge of not just withdrawing in practice even to the cushion, but really jumping into life. Not sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right moment, but just really having every moment be full participation. And even in those moments, practicing both finding the spaciousness, the samatha, finding the embodied calm and groundedness, but also being totally open to all the evidence that shows that I'm not in control, I'm confused, and I really don't know what to do. I don't. And only by letting go of that I, and working collectively with others, really being with things as they are, will what needs to be done emerge with some kind of wisdom and compassion. So that's my life, how I try to practice, and I'll just end by reading Dilgo Kensei again. The everyday practice is simply to develop a complete acceptance and openness to all situations and emotions, and to all people, experiencing everything totally without mental reservations and blockages, so that one never withdraws or centralizes into oneself. Goodbye, world.